That's real nice.
And you're real nice. I love you, honey.
Your wife is watching. My wife is watching too, Cal, so you can get me back later on. I had my eyes on it too. It's okay. Only on USSB do they have an interest at all in the ring card girls. We know the guys love it. Put a little bit of extra tape on his glove. He's all right there. That was a great trick of Angelo Dundee when a fighter needed a little more rest. He put Vaseline under the tape and lifted up so that they'd have to stop in the middle of the round. So he was trying to get some more resting time, but that isn't the case here. They just take down the glove. Larry now is, you may have heard Aaron in the very early conversation, try and throw more uppercuts and follow up with his shots. Of course, Aaron's a good friend of yours, Carl. He's a former trainer of the year. He had some great fights.
Well, he's been working in the vineyard a long time. He started years ago with Tim Witherspoon. He's worked with Mike Tyson, Frankie Randall, Julian Jackson. He's been in there with a lot of good athletes, and he's developing into quite a fine trainer.
Well, I noticed some improvement in Larry Lowe. This guy Pendergrass is a better fighter than his 14-12 record would indicate, because again he's fought so many fighters, and again he's the type of guy, he goes 10 rounds and loses a close decision, or he knocks his opponents out. He's going to have a tall bit of work to do if he's going to knock out this guy, Larry Donald.
But you know, he started out his career as a much smaller guy. He's a middleweight as he grew into a heavyweight later on. And he's been in there. He got stopped by Layman Bruce, who was a prospect. He's coming up quite nicely too. But Larry Donald has to step it up a little bit more, get a little more leverage on his punches, and relax a little bit, and I think he'll be fine.
This guy isn't a little guy, Pendergrass. He's bigger than Mike Tyson. Don't forget, he's 5'11 and a half, close to 6 feet tall, but he looks diminutive next to the huge Larry Donald. Bangs Larry's body. Larry Donald with his back to the white trunks, goes with the jab again. Watching the uppercut, he comes with the straight right hand. He's got power with the uppercut. That time he clipped him with that kind of uppercut hook again. And that's exactly what he needs to do. Pendergrass is able to gobble it up. The left hook bangs him again. The right hand bounces off the nose. That's a good right hand. This is with the uppercut. Pendergrass in good shape here. He's gobbling up some pretty good shots here.
Well, he's been pretty active since we last seen him in September of last year against Gary Bell, where he knocked him out. And since then, he's fought a few times. He lost to Maurice Harris, but I think he's been active, and that's the key to this game, is staying active to stay sharp.
That's why he looked sharp against Pendergrass too, Carl, because last month he scored a TKO over Josh Gormley in the third round of that fight. Larry, you're going to go back to December for his 10-round decision over Mike Cedillo, which we had right here on U.S. Satellite Broadcast.
And I think before that, it's been a while that Larry was out of the ring. It was 3 months. He fought 3 times in '98, and I think they all went to distance. So Larry in his last 4 or 5 fights has not knocked anyone out, and I think that's kind of affecting his confidence level. And I think he's going to go out here and try to end that streak tonight.
Well, at the end of '97, he beat Tim Witherspoon in a 12-round affair with Levi Phillips, Ross Peary, and Mike Cedillo. Right now, then, look at this action here at the end of the round. Closing seconds of the 4th. There it is. The 4th round ends with a good flurry.
Well, you just mentioned some good fighters that Larry Donald's been in there. Ross Peary is a big power puncher. Tim Witherspoon, former 2-time heavyweight champion. You know, he's beat Terrell Biggs. I mean, this guy is a quality fighter, but he just does enough to win. And what he needs to do, what we're trying to get him to do, according to his trainer, Snowell, is to get him to step it up a little bit and become a little more exciting and put a little boost in. And look at it. Just take a look at this right hand. Comes back. Oh, he misses with the left hook. But this is the kind of thing that Larry Donald has got to do. And he gets nailed with the right hand there. But, you know, he got to remain active and to stay sharp. And look at our Pendergrass. He's not breathing hard. Just listen to what he's saying.
If you're fighting up, he's outworking you. Just close this show, man. Close this show, Big Jack. Show who the star is.
Here, Aaron trying to juice up his fighter. Close his show, Big Jack. He says, show who the star is. All right, let's see if we can. Here we go. Round 5. Bob Sheridan, Carl King, Jimmy Smith handling the interviews for us tonight. Up on his toes now, the big guy, Larry Donald in the white trunks, looking to do something more with either the uppercut or that right hand and try and get this guy in trouble. Larry has landed about 3 or 4 real good right hands. There's a series of left hooks. One of them was good. He's landed 3 or 4 good right hands, and Pendergrass, much his strength and credit. Oh, nice shot that time. Didn't quite nail him, though.
That one did, though.
Right hand catches. Nice combination of punches. He's going to be hurt this guy pretty soon. He nailed him with some good shots chance here. Pendergrass is done. Gonna be a little, you talk about the frustration factor for Pendergrass. How about the frustration of Larry, who nailed him with about 3 or 4? I mean, telling you, they had good shots and he hit him one, and this kid won't go.
Well, he's a determined young man, and he's trying to turn his career around, put it on the right track, and a victory over Larry Downer would have a lot to do with this guy boosting his career up a little bit.
Oh, you're not kidding. You're not kidding. But again, do we have to question the power? The other thing is that you mentioned, we are questioning the power of Larry right now, but by the same token, Pendergrass, as we point out, tough cookie, doesn't get stopped, doesn't get knocked out. He always goes the distance, or he does the knocking out. So this is a good sort of opponent for Larry Donald. And I talked to the great matchmaker Peyton Shear before. He said, if there's ever a chance for an upset, tonight could be the one for Artis Pendergrass. This is a very risky fight when you think of what's on the line for Larry Donald.
Well, you got to understand, too, that Larry Donald, in order to be up there, considered one of the top-rated heavyweights, he should be able to beat guys of this caliber. Although they're big punchers, he should be able to stay away from that punch. He has a lot of ability, he has a lot of mobility, and he has to put it all together. And I think once that happens, Larry Donald's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the heavyweight division.
Well, Larry, too, is a boxer that you pointed out. You don't have to win by knockout all the time because he's winning every round. He's winning every round nice and easily. Nice, simple 10-9 rounds. Neither fighter has been down. Neither fighter has really been shaken, although Pendergrass lost his legs a couple of times with some pretty good shots by Larry, and one of them at the end of the second round there. I thought if that had been a little bit more close to the center of the round, he may have been able to long looping wild hand.
Well, I tell you what, that like the great late Drew Boudini Brown, that used to work in the Muhammad Ali's corner, used to always say, you don't always got to hit the home run, son. You got to load the bases, and that's the kind of fighter Larry Donald is. All
right, we're inside of 20 seconds to go in the 5th round, and you see that Pendergrass continues to make a fight of it. Left hook that time. Up on his toes is Larry a little bit. Now he's back on his heels. And the bell ends the 5th round. In the corner with Larry Donald. Another Larry Donald round. 10-9.
Up to there, and I tell you what, there's beautiful Jan Schwartz there with her husband. She's a senior vice president of USSB with her husband, Joel. Joel happened to be a very nice guy. I like his style of clothing, too, there, Colonel.
I'll tell you, not only Jan, but the entire staff at US Satellite Broadcasting, starting from the boss, the CEO, Stan Hubbard, Colleen Galloway, they've just really done a great job with this. Look at these shots here. Left hook, right hand by Larry Donald. A real terrific round for him there. And you see Pendergrass trying to make a fight of it, but he just really can't do anything with a big, tall guy. Frustrating. Nice uppercut right behind it. He misses that singing right hand that goes whistling back the chin. A little bit more timing, a little bit more leverage in this guy. Carl, you're right. He's going to be a pretty good heavyweight. He's already a pretty good heavyweight because he's ranked in the top 5 and doing the ranking services.
I agree. I'll tell you what, he was just a fraction of an inch away from nailing him with that one.
All right, this is round 6. Bob Sheridan and Carl King. We're in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis, St. Paul. We've got a pretty good heavyweight fight going on here. Larry Donald, who you're going to see probably fighting for a world title before the end of this year.
I tell you, when he's on his toes like he's in, he's a real artful boxer, and he's a real pretty fighter to watch when he's on his toes and moving and doing what he does best, and that's sticking and moving.
People sitting at home and saying, hey, this big guy, he can't seem to do anything with Pendergrass. We never heard of Pendergrass. Well, let me tell you, Pendergrass is more than an opponent fighter, folks. We told you the type of people that he's fought. He always loses when he does lose close decisions. When he fights the genuine type fighters, he knocks them out. So it is a step up in class for Artis Pendergrass. On the other hand, Larry Donald has got to beat these type of fighters, as Kyle pointed out. And he is beating him. He's won every single round.
Well, you know, and see, Pendergrass is a very defensive-minded fighter. He has a tough kind of style. His hands are up. He has a little crouch, somewhat like the old peekaboo style of Archie Moore in the old days and Ken Norton more recently. But I tell you what, his height is at a disadvantage for him right now. But he's a real power puncher, and he's very deceptive, and he can create a lot of problems as he's done for 14 fighters.
Good shots landed. The crowd kind of reacts to it as Artis Pendergrass lands a couple of left hooks of his own. As the reaching, lunging uppercut. There'd be no power with that because the left leg way out, and he's throwing the right hook, right uppercut with no power at all. There's a right hand there, just a little bit too tight for that one.
Well, he needs to keep that up. That's the kind of thing that Larry needs to do in order for him to try to take this guy out. He has to continue to do it, though.
I like to see Larry get rough with this guy. Like, Larry never looks to me like he's mad. I like to see him get mad. Sling this guy into the ropes. Take him off the ropes, bang, and throw him down into the corner of the turnbuckle, throw him to the canvas, and then get mad. I'd like to see him do something to get upset here.
Well, that's exactly right. And a former world champion who Larry Donald patterns himself after by a guy by the name of Larry Holmes used to get mad and angry, and he'd take guys out with that right hand, but he had a great jab too. And Larry Donald has similar styles that Larry Holmes did, and if he can put it together like that, he'll be champion of the world one day.
I was about to say, anytime you see heavyweights and there's not a knockdown involved and they box each other, people immediately think it's a bad fight. But one of the greatest fights that I ever called, you're going to go back to 1978, mentioning two guys that you just mentioned, Larry Holmes and Kenny Norton. There's a fight with no knockdowns, and they boxed, and it was one of the greatest heavyweight fights that I've ever seen, and that includes all the elite fights.
I agree with you 100%, and that fight was June 9, 1978 at Caesar's Palace, where that was some trip. They had the Sportsman's Ball the day before. What a trip that was when Larry won the title.
Oh, man, and that was just a wonderful fight. It was sad that Kenny had to lose that fight, but I became such a great Larry Holmes fan prior to that and during that. It was exciting to watch. The bell ends, another interesting sixth round, but a good round again. Larry Donald just continues to outbox Artis Pendergrass.
Larry is just fighting right along. He's not doing anything special. But you know what? He's winning every single round. And that's the object of the game, is to win. The name of this game is boxing, not slug out. Look at here. There's some of Minnesota's finest beauties. I tell you what, Twin Cities, this look like a triplet city here to me.
Well, I know you want to make sure that Shelley knows, and I want to say to my Annie sitting at home watching, Carl and I haven't met each other.
Oh, but we're in the Twin Cities, believe that. Now let's take a look at this. Pendergrass has hit Big Larry Donald with a couple of good solid shots. But like I said, let's take a look at this. But Larry comes back with a left hook and big right hand right there on the temple. And that's what Larry has to do. This is turning out to be a good exercise for Larry Donald to try to practice some of his skills.
All right, here we go, round number 7. And while the replay showed some